Welcome to Special Needs Prepping. Tonight we're going to talk about how to prep if your child is in a group home or an institution. So let's start off with this heavy subject, thinking about something positive about your child. So take a moment to think about an event like, for me, my child got up on a Saturday morning and I just let him do his thing, and he was giving me deep pressure and a forehead rubbing and putting his head on my shoulders, and we just had a good moment there. So um, sometimes you if you have a child that's bigger than you, if you have a spouse that's not on board, if you're a single parent with a special needs child, the divorce rate for special needs families is 75%. So there are times when your child is violent, is hurting you or your spouse and the other children, and you have to put them in a group home or an institution. And sometimes they get into that routine, they get therapy, and that becomes their home. It's very hard to do, and sometimes that's just what happens, and that's okay. So as you get into prepping, then take a year to walk into prepping. Prepping is not a race, it's a marathon. So don't be panicked and overwhelmed. Just do one thing at a time. Go to Jack Spirko's the Survival Podcast, and start going through those episodes, and just start thinking about, okay, let's work on our maturity when it comes to our mind, body, spirit, and bank account. So work on those areas, and special needs parents are already ahead on that game. So so then think about, okay, where do I live? Do I live in a safe place? Can I bring my child safely home? The safest place is in the suburbs, or the suburbs on the edge of where farmland meets the suburbs. So you may have to take some time to work on your financial maturity, so I can have a better place, and be thinking about the worst case scenario, the internet banking grid going down, where we would still have gas and electricity and water, or worst case scenario, the power grid being attacked from the ground and destroying two of the three junction points where the power grid and the East Coast power grid from the Rocky Mountains to Atlantic Ocean will be down for 5 years. So that's the other big thing to plan for. So if your child is in a group home, then let's see about, so how many staff do they have, and work with those other families, and be thinking about, are they going to get into prepping? What are they going to do? And as you walk through this year of becoming a prepper, you may have to have extra food there at the group home, have a generator, run some 12-volt lights throughout the ceiling. If you don't own the house, you just have to start the process of, how can we stay there. um, you'll have to go there and live with your child. That's one option, and take care of the other families. So the other option is that you bring your child back to your house. So you want to keep your child safe. Your child is interested in routine, but if the staff abandons the place because they can't get paid, so you just got to have to work that out. Now, an institution, you can see, do they have a backup generator? How much extra food do they have? And you have to be talking to the people about that. What is their emergency plan? And so so in closing, I'd like to go to think about, with prepping, as you go through prepping, a very it to handle this type of stuff. It's You're going to need all your wits about you. You have to work on your maturity when it comes to your mind, body, spirit, and bank account to handle the stress of this. So there are two types of people in the world, living in the United States. There are magicians and lovers. Now, if you're a magician, a good way to find out if you're a magician, if you get a new phone number and someone texts you, obviously they don't know that they've got the wrong number. and you say, okay, I could mess with this guy or this gal. I could pretend to be this person. If you do that, or you think about that, if that thought occurs to you, then you're a magician. And a lot of times magicians, they give into the dark side and they become politicians, used car salesmen, internet trolls, and they use their skills of manipulation and writing to for bad. Now, if you could use them for good. You could be like a police lady trying to talk a lady off the ledge, saying, come on, we're not going to throw you in jail or take you to the funny farm. Come on, my shift's going to be over in a few minutes. Let's go get our nails done. Well, the lady comes off the ledge, and of course they throw her on the ground and take her to the funny farm. So the lady manipulated her to save her life. So you can use your magician skills for good. So the other type of person is a lover, and that is a person who has the 5 emotions of mad, sad, glad, fear, and shame running through their head like a pinball machine. So in that case, you want to identify each emotion and corral all of them. You can imagine yourself on the farm sitting on your back porch, and you have a corral of all these different characters, and you could assign each one an animal name. You could have a corral with a swimming pool and have an amphibian name. So you identify those people, and then you use unemotional critical thinking as you go through your day. Thank you.